What if I told you there's a DEX on base that's solving every major problem with traditional swap APIs and it's already captured 40% of entire network's liquidity? Hi everyone, this is Sahil from QuickNode and today we are diving deep into Aerodrome Finance, the AMM that's revolutionizing DeFi on base. Let's start with few painful truths. If you have ever built with traditional AMMs or DEXs, you have probably encountered these nightmares. The first one being gas estimation failures. You have seen this error a million times, cannot estimate gas, which forces developers to hardcore gas limits up to 30 million gas units just to get a basic swaps working. Another one is MEV extraction. Sandwich attacks and front-running bots have stolen over 670 million worth of tokens from users, with traders losing money even when they set 10% slippage tolerance. The next one is liquidity fragmentation, where pools are scattered throughout the ecosystem. Your trades are bouncing between multiple DEXs and pools, just like a pinball machine, where each hop adds to fees and slippage because liquidity is scattered everywhere. Then the next and major one is integration complexity. You need 3 different SDKs, 5 documentation sites, and a PhD in DeFi just to build a basic swap interface that works across major AMMs. These aren't just minor inconveniences. They are costing users millions and preventing DeFi from reaching its full potential. Enters Aerodrome Finance, built from ground up to solve every single one of these problems. Aerodrome combines the best of various traditional DEXs and AMMs into one unified pool powered by innovative VE tokenomics. VE stands for voted escrow. We'll talk about it more in detail later, but first let's talk about few of the stats of Aerodrome. In just 18 months, Aerodrome has attracted over $1.29 billion in total locked value. That's faster growth than any other traditional major DEX in their early days. And think about this. Aerodrome now controls over 40% of all liquidity on Base blockchain, making it the undisputed liquidity hub where every major protocol comes to trade. With $25 billion in annualized trading volume, Aerodrome processes more transactions than most centralized exchanges in emerging markets, all while being completely decentralized. It has most number of liquidity pools compared to any traditional DEX or AMM out there. Over 180,000 monthly active users trust Aerodrome for their trades, from retail traders swapping $50 to protocols moving millions. And these aren't just numbers, they are developers and users choosing efficiency over legacy systems. Now let's understand how Aerodrome works, but before that, let's understand few key terminologies in the Aerodrome ecosystem. The first one is Aero token, which is a ERC20 utility token. You can buy, sell or trade freely. The next one is VE Aero token, which is a ERC721 token you get when you lock your Aero tokens. It represents your voting powers and can't be sold, but it can be transferred. And this is the token which is used for governance across the Aerodrome ecosystem. Then emissions. Emissions are new Aero tokens emitted weekly and distributed to liquidity pools as rewards. Then comes liquidity providers. Liquidity providers basically are the people who deposit token pairs like ETH USDC into pools so others can trade. These are basically the ones who actually provide liquidity to the ecosystem. Then there is an epoch, which is a 7-day voting period in Aerodrome, which lasts from Thursday to Thursday. Then the gauge, which is the actual mechanism that distributes Aero rewards to each pool based on votes. Here's how Aerodrome works, and it's brilliantly simple. You start by locking your Aero tokens to get a VE Aero NFT, and these tokens can be locked for up to a period of 4 years, which is also known as the lock period or vote escrowed period, hence the VE prefix. So following is the linear relationship between Aero and VE Aero tokens, where The number of VE Aero tokens you get depends on the number of Aero tokens you lock multiplied by the lock duration by 4 years. For example, 100 Aero tokens locked for 4 years gives you 100 VE Aero tokens, which gives you 100% voting power or voting weight. 100 Aero tokens locked for 1 year gives you 25 VE Aero tokens, which gives you 25% voting power or voting weight. Then 100 Aero tokens locked for 1 week gives you similar to 0.48 VE Aero tokens, which gives you 1 by 208 voting power, which basically means that the longer the vesting time, the higher the voting power or voting weight of the underlying token balances. So what does VE Aero token holders or the governance token holder does? Every week, VE Aero token holders vote on which liquidity pools should receive Aero rewards. Think of it like directing a river. You choose where the flow of new token goes. And here's the kicker. As VE Aero holders, you earn 100% of the trading fees from the entire protocol. Now, how it works is the pools you voted for receive the Aero emissions every week. These are for liquidity providers. Meanwhile, all the trading fees for every swap on Aerodrome flows back to VE Aero holders. We are talking over $1 million every single week distributed to voters. This creates an unstoppable flywheel. Everyone wins in this perfect cycle. Traders get the best prices from deep liquidity and pay the trading fees. Those trading fees, 100% of them, flows to VE Aero token holders who vote to direct emissions to liquidity pools. Liquidity providers earn these VE Aero emissions as sustainable yields, which incentivizes them to provide even more liquidity. More liquidity means better prices for traders, attracting more volume, generating more fees, and the flywheel spins faster. This is why Aerodrome now controls 40% of all base total value locked. Now here's where it gets exciting for developers. QuickNode's Aerodrome Swap API turns all this complexity into simple REST calls. Let's see how we can enable Aerodrome Swap API on your QuickNode base RPC endpoint and how you can use the REST API call. So to get started with Aerodrome Swap API, you can go to the Aerodrome's marketplace page, which is linked in the description below, and click on Get Started. If you already have a base endpoint, it will take you to your base endpoint's add-on section and open the installation modal, from where you can select the plan based on the rate limit or request per seconds, whatever you want, and then you can install it from here. If you want to install it from your QuickNode account, you can just go to your base endpoint, then navigate to the add-on section and then look for the add-on. As you can see, here's the add-on. You can click on explore and then click on install. If you do not have a base endpoint, you can simply click on create endpoint, select base, click on continue, select mainnet. Then on the next screen, you'll be asked to install add-ons, whatever you wish to install on your endpoint. From here as well, you can just click on explore and then install the add-on. Since I already have the base endpoint, I'll just install the add-on on that endpoint. And once installed, you'll be able to find the add-on under the installed add-ons section over here. From there, you can click on Get Started, from where you'll get some basic commands you'll be able to use with your add-on. For example, this method will get you pool analytics for a particular pool, where the target will be Aero. You can set the limit, you can set the offset, you can set the token. So to run this, just copy this and let's go to a terminal. So you can see we have got the address of the liquidity provider, the token 0 address, the token 1 address. Basically, the pool is of these two tokens. Then this is another liquidity provider for the same token, which is this, along with some other token. So basically, you'll get all the available pools for whichever token you request for. And they can be with different tokens as well. For example, this pool is with TBTC, this pool is with MI token, this pool is with MIM token, so on and so forth. So let's look at some other method. So for example, if you wanted to get a quote for the swap, you will basically have to use the quote endpoint. And how it works is, this is your QuickNode endpoint, and then you have to add a suffix of add-on and then add the add-on ID. So the add-on ID for the Aerodrome Swap API of QuickNode Marketplace is 1051, and then you have to add v1, and then goes the actual method or the endpoint, which is code. So we want to get the code to swap this token with this token, and the amount will be 1. So let's run this, and let's add a proper JSON formatting so that we can look at the output in a better way, in a structured way. So as you can see, we have got the code for swapping this token with this token. So you can see the value is 0.90 for 1 ARO token in USDC, and this is what the swap would look like. We'll get this much, the amount in way will be this much, minimum amount will be this much, minimum amount in way will be this much, the price is this is the token address, symbol USDC, this is the actual value of the token, and then the number of hops will be 1. This is the pool address, type is direct since the number of hop is just 1, and this is the slippage which we can expect. So this is how you can use the Aerodrome Swap API from the QuickNode Marketplace. You can basically just install it on your current base endpoint and start using it. You do not need to do anything else. You just need to call specified methods via the REST API and you'll be good to go. So hope you learned something about Aerodrome in this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the QuickNode YouTube channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.